Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Wolo, and if this is the first time you are clicking on my channel, I would say a big welcome to you. My channel is about sharing information about life in Canada, immigrating to Canada, anything you need to know about Canada, my personal experiences so far, and generally news, anything happening in Canada. I'll try as much as possible to be sharing that information so that it can be beneficial and useful to anybody who plans to immigrate and people who are already living in Canada. Today I'll be talking about the Canada Child Benefit, and the Canada Child Benefit used to be called the Universal Child Care Benefit, which evolved to the Canada Child Tax Benefit. When it used to be called the Universal Child Care Benefit, it was a taxable income, meaning if the government had given you monies for your children, at the end of when you're filing your taxes, you have to report it as an income, and usually they will send you a slip called the RC62 slip to show that you received an income from the government. But since it evolved from the UCCB to now what is called the Canada Child Benefit, it's no longer a taxable income. So it's a non-taxable income, meaning you don't need to report it as an income when you're filing your taxes. And moving to people who are eligible for this benefit. People who are eligible are generally citizens, permanent residents, refugees, and temporary residents. But for temporary residents, there's a clause. And the clause is that you must have lived in Canada with your child for 18 months before applying for the Canada Child Benefit. So if you come in as a student, you must have lived in Canada, and you must also have a valid permit before you can apply for the Canada Child Benefit. And for those who give birth in Canada, who come to Canada and give birth, you can also apply using the automated benefit application. As long as you give the hospital your social insurance number and some other documents, they will be able to send in your application for you to the government concerning the birth of your child, and then you will now start receiving the benefits. But it's not for those who just come to give birth and go with their children. Oh no, this is not applicable to them. And one thing you should also know is that once your benefit starts rolling in, or before it starts rolling in, the government might request that you provide documents, and some of the documents might be a letter from your child's daycare, or a letter from your children's school, or any authority in Canada that will vouch for you that your child is resident in Canada. So you cannot just come, give birth, and then go to Nigeria and start claiming money. It's not possible. It will work for you. So that's one thing you should know about that. Then once you apply for the benefits, you will receive what is called a CCB notice. The CCB notice is a notice that tells you how much benefit you receive. Before I forget, I wanted to show you what you should use in applying. So for those who are planning to immigrate to Canada, please, I know it is once you land, your brain is thinking getting a house, getting your children's school, getting yourself sorted, and then before you start thinking of applying, please try as much as possible to include this as part of the first things you should be doing when you land in Canada, so that the monies can start rolling in immediately. So this is how the form looks like. This is an RC66 form. I'm showing it to you. I hope you see it. I'll be leaving the link to this form at the bottom of the video. You fill this form and also fill another form. Unfortunately, I didn't print the second form, but I'll be leaving the links, both links to this, the form and the other form. The second form is still also RC66SCH. So this one is RC66E, and then the second form is RC66SCH. You fill the two forms and send it to the tax centers, to any of the tax centers in your region. I think I'll be doing a video on the tax centers and explain further. For now, let me focus on the Canada Child Benefit. So once you fill this form, you send it, and then they'll be asking you for some supporting documents because your child wasn't born in Canada, especially for new immigrants. since your child wasn't born in Canada, they'll be asking you for some supporting documents, or you can also fill the form and also attach the supporting documents along and send it so that the application can be complete instead of them contacting you. So once you fill this form, you send it to them, they will look at your form, and then if they approve it, you will receive a notice called the CCB notice, and the CCB notice tells you how much you'll be receiving per child for the Canada Child Benefit. So then the Canada Child Benefit has what is called the base year, meaning that the payment cycle starts from July, and the base it starts from July of a year and ends in June of the next year, of the following year. So what happens is, during that base year, they calculate your adjusted family net income. They check if you have other children, if you had come and then you gave birth to another child while you came. And then I think those are the two things they check: your adjusted family net income and your children. Based on that, it will now recalculate how much you will start earning again from July. So the Canada Child Benefit cycle starts from July and ends in June. So at the end of June, they calculate your adjusted family net income based on the taxes you must have filed that year, and also the number of children you must have had. That will now determine how much you'll be getting for July, for the next cycle from July. So you might have, maybe you received, let's say, $500 per child in 2018 tax year. And then in 2019 tax year, by the time we get to July 2019, the system must have calculated your adjusted family net income, including the number of children you have, and that will determine how much you start receiving as from July 2019, which will take you until June 2020. I hope I explained it well there. So like I said, it's a cycle that starts in July, the 1st of July of a year, and terminates June 30th of June of the following year. Then they now recalculate how much they will be giving you. And then so the Canada Child Benefit amount is $6,496 per year. So for a child that is below 6 years, the child will be receiving $541.33 per month. So the annual amount is $6,496 per year per child, as long as the child is below 6 years, which is like $541.33 per month. So if you have 3 children below 6 years, you multiply 541.33 times the number of children you have, 3. That will give you an idea of how much you'll be receiving from the government for your children. So if you have 3 children, you have 4 children, if you have 10 children, if you want to be like some people who just come and decide that, okay, it's just to be giving birth to children, no wahala. If you have 10 children, calculate who are below 6 years, calculate 541.33 times 10. That will tell you how much you'll be receiving. And then for children who are above 6, it's now, the money now drops to $5,481 per year, which is like $456.75 per month. So $456.75 per month for children who are above 6 years. But like I said, sorry, I'm using all my documents to explain very well, and then I'll be leaving the link below. So like I said, this amount is not set on stone, because at the end of each cycle, they will check if your income, your family net income, has increased. So the family net income is calculated based on the husband's income, net income, and the wife's net income. If husband and wife are working together and they are earning, let's say, $70,000 per annum, that's their adjusted family net income. This money that I called will not be the same amount, it will drop. because their net income is above it. So let me explain. So the money that a child that is below 6 receives, which is 541.33 per month, if the parents' net income, if both father and mother are working and their net income is above $30,450, the money automatically reduces. And if I'm going to read it here, it says for families with one eligible child, the reduction is 7% of the amount of the adjusted family net income between $30,450 and $65,975, plus 3.2% of the amount of the adjusted family net income over $65,975. I think it's too much grammar here. So let me break it down. So if husband and wife are working and their adjusted family net income falls between $30,000 and $65,000, the reduction that will take place on that benefit will be about 7%. Yes. So that is how they calculate it, and it is calculated every cycle, and it is also dependent on the number of children you have and your income. So the more money you make, the more your benefit, your child benefit reduces. So what I observe a lot of new immigrant families do is only one spouse works while the other spouse stays at home to take care of the children, which is a different it's their own decision, it's their own, the way they want it to be. I think I'm going to talk about that in a subsequent video, but for now let me talk about the Canada child benefit. So for the second one now, they said for families with 2 eligible children, the reduction is 13.5% of the amount. So if you have 2 children, the reduction will be 13.5% of the amount if your family net income falls between $30,000 and $65,000. So it graduates there from there. For family with 3 children is 19%. For family of 4 children or more is 23%. I hope I've not confused you, but this is how it is calculated. So the more money you earn and the number of children you have, your child benefit reduces. And then so the payment is made on the 20th, generally on the 20th of each month. Yeah, it's generally made on the 20th of each month. And if by chance they discover that they have overpaid you, they will send you a letter to pay them back the money that they overpaid you. So please be very careful. The government has a record. They are very, the government of Canada is very fantastic with record keeping. That's one thing you can never, I mean, they are very fantastic with their record keeping. So you try as much as possible to obey the rules, obey the regulations, and learn and be a good citizen of Canada. So I think I am already deviating from the topic, but I hope I have tried to explain what the Canada child benefit is like, and what you should be expecting. And if you have your family net income, if you come in and you get a job and you have a family net income that's above $30,000, automatically your child benefit starts reducing. But the prayer for everyone is we should have enough money that we don't even really need the child benefit anymore. I think I've spoken too much for today, and I hope you've learned something from me today. I'll be doing more videos about the taxes in Canada, immigrating to Canada, and generally anything about life in Canada. I hope you've learned something. Invite your friends, invite your family members, tell them there's a lady who is explaining these things in details, and I'll try as much as possible to bring out more information that will be useful to you. Have a good day and stay blessed. Bye bye.